fall, y'all. It's fall, y'all. It's fall. Is that Courtney? I don't even care. My season is here. It's fall. I'm excited because I'm going to show you how I organize my personal life, my business life, and my military life with both my Notion and my Google Calendar. Productivity, organization, setting systems in place, that's a form of self-care for me because I don't have to think so hard. I don't have to rack my brain trying to figure out what I did with this, or I remember this quote from a book that I really want to use on one of my videos, or whatever the case may be. It's definitely self-care knowing that the systems that I've put in place help me be productive and organized. And I want to give a big shout out to my pastor, Pastor Daniels, because we up in the Daniels Den making it happen, and he is one that definitely talks about productivity, organization, and how your brain is meant to create things. It's not meant to hoard all this information. If you build systems in place where you can place all your notes, your information, your ideas, your goals, your plans, you have this one source where you can go, which for me is Notion, where I can put everything then, and when I need to go back to it, I can go back to it. I've reached a season in my life where I don't got time to waste. I am a supervisor in the military. I'm a content creator. I have a business to run, and I have to make sure I balance my life with my family and my friends. I don't got time to waste. So why Google Calendar and Notion together? Because of the aesthetics. Anything that you can customize and make your own, why not, right? I'm saying Google Calendar works for me because I can match that same aesthetic of Notion to my Google Calendar. If this is a place I'm gonna go to all the time, why would I not want it to look just as cute and cozy and comfy as a cup of spicy chai as I read on my chair and it rains outside? Anyways, let me show you what I'm talking about. Welcome to my Google Calendar. First thing I want you to notice is, do you see this color palette? This cute, cozy, comfy fall color palette I have going on? Don't worry, I'm going to be sharing the exact same hex codes I use to customize my calendar with you. The first thing I want you to obviously see is the colors. So all these blocks aren't just me randomly adding color to it. They're really labels. And really what labels are for Google Calendar is calendars. So you have to have different calendars. And when you have those calendars, for example, my Air Force calendar, when you click on the three dots here, it's going to give you this option to be able to put the color that you want. Now, the default colors at Google Calendar, it's loud. And I mean, the majority of the applications for calendars, they're super loud. I like to ease my way into my task, into my meetings. When you want to add your custom hex code, all you have to do is press on this little cross, and then you can even move around to see which one you want, or you can just add the hex code here. And to create calendars, all you have to do is go to settings. And then when you come down here to calendars, you see all the calendars I have, but you're going to go to add calendar, and you're going to go to create a new calendar, and you can name it whatever you want. You can even put a description. As you can see, I have different calendars. So I have Air Force meetings, because even though there are Air Force things going on throughout the base, whether that be trainings or things for my troops, I try to keep that separate from meetings, because every meeting has a different agenda, a different description, different things that we have to talk about. And that's just completely different from my troops or any tasks that we may have outside of that. I have a calendar for bills because I want to make sure when I got to pay my bills. Calls are more for my clients or potential clients. So when we have a call, I'll just make sure to label that off. Computer stuff can be anything. Computer stuff is just a time where I'm either scripting, writing blogs, or I'm on that computer at the base and I know I'm going to be doing a lot of admin stuff. So I just block that off as computer stuff. I have a content creation block, dancing. I like to time block those days and times that I'm going to be dancing, so I know nobody can reach me at this time because I'm going to be samba dancing or belly dancing or whatever the case may be. Deadlines are for things that I really want to stand out. This is the thing that on this date, it has to be done. Like, it has to be turned in. And that can be for deadlines for my business, for content creation, or for my military work. Ezia Ayala LLC, that is the name of my company for my content creation. And that's mainly there for admin stuff that I know I have to turn in for tax purposes or any of that boring tax stuff. Family time, I have that there specifically because I want to block off time and dates for my family. I know myself, if it's not on the calendar, it's not going to happen. And so I make sure that any family or friends time, I have it labeled. Paydays for content creation, my business, or Air Force. Self-care, and this could be in so many ways, whether it's a spa day, a home spa day, a day of cozy gaming, a day of planning to do absolutely nothing, whatever the case may be, I have that there. Spirit care is for my devotional, my Bible study time, praise and worship, writing to God, going on a hike where I'm actually talking to God. I do a lot of my communing with God on hikes, and I absolutely love it. Training, that is for both Air Force, that can be used for Air Force, but it's mainly for business things that I'm just educating myself on. And then vacation time, oh my gosh, that has to be planned out in advance so I could see it from afar, so I know y'all ain't reaching me here. And then the Curly VA, that is the name of is the name of my virtual assistant business that I currently still own and I'm still running, but I have a few team members that are actually on my team now, so it's super duper exciting. The ones that you don't want to show up, for example, I really don't have a lot of tasks for the Curly VA on my Google Cal, so I uncheck it, but the rest of the stuff I keep it on. Actually, holidays I do keep there too. I want to give big ups to Jules Acree, who really got me on this Google Calendar system. I'm going to leave the link in my description that leads to her video of how she actually time blocks and task batches, and it's a wonderful system. And before, when I wasn't working on my Air Force 9 to 5, it worked great. But now that I'm juggling both my Air Force 9 to 5, content creation, my business, and all that stuff, my version is a little bit different. I would recommend that you take any reoccurring tasks that you have and see if you can batch them together and put them on specific days. My Tuesdays are very heavy meeting wise. And so in the morning, there's a lot of meetings, and even in the afternoon, there are a lot of meetings. So I know that I'm not going to be doing a lot of computer stuff. Today, I had to take my kittens to get their shots and go to the vet. So I had to change the appointment because they couldn't take me in earlier. So I figured, why not record my Google Calendar video? So that is the content creation block that you see there. I have my devotional time always in the morning, and then my production meeting that I go to every day. So then I have a big block of computer work, and that's where I know I'll be doing a lot of admin stuff. And what I do is I add tasks to these blocks. So the computer work itself isn't the task. The computer work block is where I know that I am going to be sitting in front of my computer doing a lot of computer work. So I need to have snacks and coffee to sip on. In that block, I'll write specific tasks, like, for example, follow up for PHAQ call, some Air Force lingo. I know I need to follow up with that, and that's something that I'm going to be sitting on my computer, and I want to knock it off my to-do list. So that is what I mean when it comes to adding tasks to the time block. I know it looks funny that my lunch and my devotional are on there, but the thing is, if I don't see it on the calendar, more than likely it's not happening, because I can get so caught up with work that sometimes I miss lunch until my stomach is like, hey, I'm hungry, feed me. My devotional time, I love seeing on there, knowing that I'm dedicating that time to spending time with God. I also like keeping my meetings separate. I could time block my meetings specifically, let's say, for example, when it comes to Tuesday, but the thing is, every meeting, we talk about different things. Our key points and our focuses are on different things in each meeting. So it doesn't really help me to time block it, because in the description, for example, I won't have it up on this one because production meetings, I know exactly what I'm talking about. But if we open that up in the description, if there's specific things, key points that I want to talk about, I'll add them in there. As long as the information isn't classified, I'll write just a tidbit, like a Cliff Note version of it, just to make sure that, okay, I know what I'm going to talk about. I know the documents that I need to bring, or I need the key points that I want to bring up to leadership. I'll write that down in the description. Another thing I love is shortcuts. So Google Calendar has shortcuts that are super nifty. If you click on the letter D, it'll show you the day. So if I click on D, it'll show me my day. If I click on the letter W, it'll show me my week. If I click on the letter M, it'll show me my month. And then if you click on the letter Y on your keyboard, it shows you the year. I can go back from day to month to week. I usually stick to the week view, but sometimes it is nifty to have the day view. If you want to create something, all you have to do is click on C, and you can create a task or a event, whatever the case may be. The last thing I will show is the time zones. I love having the time zones here because I'm in Denver, but I do have clients that are in Chicago time, and then most of my family is on the East Coast. So I use the New York time just to make sure when I can schedule calls with them or whatever the case may be, whether it's calls with my clients or calls with my family. I love having that there just to know, oh, you know what? Let me not send that message to Melly about that book that we just finished reading because she's probably asleep. And in order to do this, all you have to do is go to settings. And then if you scroll down a little bit where it says world clock, you can add a secondary, third, or even more time zones if you like. So welcome to my Notion Hub. This is pretty much my dashboard. As you can see, I have autumn/fall decked it out. I just really love that picture. That picture is when a picture that they took for me when I was in the Denver Times. They wrote an article about my business and stuff like that. It was super cool, and I just love having that memento there. I keep like kind of a little sticky pad to do of my top priorities here, and as you can see, record Google Cal YouTube videos on there so I can check it. Does anyone else get like super satisfied checking off your to-do list? And then, not for nothing, but if I do something, sometimes I go back and write it as a to-do list like thing that I have to check off, even though I already did it, just so I can feel the satisfaction of checking it off. So I don't know, maybe that's just me. Anyways, I have these dashboards here, but I also break this down into personal, into my business. I have lists here and growth as far as language learning and courses I'm taking. But I just real quick wanted to show you kind of like where I go as far as putting my ideas as far as the source. Here I have kind of like my check-ins of how I'm feeling, what will make this week better, what am I working on this week to get closer to my goals, reminders and follow-up to-do lists in the middle. I have a sticky note here where I write to myself a little encouragement. I do my brain dumps here, and then based on the project, the due date, or the priority, what it'll do is it'll go either into my top priorities sometime this week or even someday. And then once I complete it, it goes into the archives. Pretty much that's here. Right now, I only have something about creating my email list as far as my Pinterest. I need to work on that and then continue working on the digital product that I have for you guys. But that, and I have, a little Giphy plant there. So that's a quick run through of kind of like where I go to every day as far as like to check in on myself and see what tasks I need to accomplish. And real quick, I can show you a little bit of my military Air Force work. So this is my COANG dashboard. COANG is for Colorado Air National Guard because I'm a part of the Colorado Air National Guard. And as you can see, I have a plethora of follow-ups that I have to do. I also do weekly check-ins here with my troops, so I like catching up with them and seeing what I need to follow up with them later on, whether it be personal, educational, or military work, whatever the case may be. As you can see, I have a lot of Top Gun stuff over here. This is the original Top Gun Giphy stuff, and then I have a little bit of the old to the left and the new to the right. I also had the sticky note here with a little bit of encouragement, and I then have things here where I follow up with as far as my leadership, my peers, or my troops, and then meetings. And I have the same system here where I brain dump the tasks that I need to do based on the project, due date, and priority, and then it will categorize itself where it needs to be categorized. Once it's done, it goes into the archive. Notion is my hub as far as where I put and plot down my ideas, my information, my notes, everything. Google Calendar is where I choose the dates and the times that I'm going to execute on those plans, on those projects, and those goals. If you like this video and you want to see more content like this, please feel free to comment on what more you want to see on my Notion Hub, or if you have any questions as far as my Google Calendar, please let me know. I'm going to be leaving a link in my description so you can actually download the hex codes to the exact same colors that I have in my Google Calendar. So make sure to download that for free. Till next time, stop existing and start living. Hasta luego.